This is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we will have our discussion on the concept of Vargottam. So friends, while explaining some important yogas, planetary combinations, or even in the transit video, you must have heard about this term. So that is something which we will try to understand and discuss in this video. So now friends, when we talk about the Vargottam concept, so for that, apart from your main ascendant chart, you have to include your Navamsa or D9 chart in that as well. Now we have talked about the importance of the D9 chart a lot many times on this channel, that when we talk about the importance of the D9 chart, so this is the chart which first of all tells about the prospects of your fortune, of your luck. Second thing, this chart also validates the true strength and dignity of the planets from your main ascendant chart. So let's say for example, if you have any planet which is weak in the main ascendant chart, but if you will find the same planet to be in a strengthened state in the D9 chart or the Navamsa chart, so then you can fairly assume this thing, that definitely the roots of your planet is strong, and via opting certain remedies you can fairly work with this planet, or you can get the best results of this planet in its activated time periods. And also friends, whenever we talk about anything to do with your matrimonial life, so D9 chart in itself tells about your matrimonial life. Also friends, how much you are going to be devoted in your path, or anything to do with the religious or the spiritual austerity, or your potential to progress in the path of devotion is something which we get to know from the D9 chart. Now friends, this Vargottam concept is very simple. If you will find planets to be placed in the same sign in the Lagan chart, ascendant chart and the D9 chart, so then that planet is going to become strong. There will be uniformity in the way the planet is going to be manifesting its results, and along with that, the term which has been coined for it is the Vargottam placement. So now friends, out of all the 12 zodiac signs, there is a section which has been allotted as the Vargottam section. So the very first space of all the movable sign. So the movable signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra and Capricorn. So from 0 to 3 degree 20 minutes is the section of these movable signs, which is categorized as the Vargottam placement. Now when we talk about the all the fixed signs, so friends, fixed signs are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio and Aquarius. So the middle section of these fixed signs, which is from 13 degree 20 minutes to 16 degree 40 minutes. So this is the section which is categorized as Vargottam. So if you will find any planet to be placed in this section within the fixed signs, that planet is going to be placed in the same sign only in the D9 chart as well, and which is going to become strong. And last is friends, for all the dual signs. So for the dual signs, the sections in the zodiac is, so first of all, dual signs are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius and Pisces. So the last section of their sign, which is from 26 degree 40 minutes to 30 degree. So this is the section of these dual signs which is categorized as the Vargottam placement. So now friends, try to understand this thing. Definitely when we talk about the Vargottam placement, you have to see this basis the zodiac sign where the planets are going to be placed in. You have to validate in D9 chart. So like the way I was explaining it to you, that if you will find planet to be Vargottam, so that means there is a uniformity. Planet is not going to surprise you, because many times what happen is that, first of all friends, this becomes very important that while assessing any dasha, while assessing any transit, you have to see the dignity and the role of that planet in both of your Lagan chart and the D9 chart. That many times what happen is that if you will find a planet to be exalted in your main Lagan chart, so you are waiting for the dasha of that planet to begin, that once this planet is going to get activated, I will be showered with all the good results. But the moment that planet got activated in the dasha, results did not come as you must have anticipated. So the root cause or the reason for that could be that planet might be weak in your D9 chart. So that is the only reason friends. If you will find planets to be Vargottam, then it is going to give us this indication that you can be very much assured or confident about the way planet is going to be manifesting results. It's not going to surprise you by giving you more than anticipated or less than anticipated. There is definitely going to be a uniformity in its behavior and the way it is going to be manifesting results. And friends, one thing which I always put emphasis is that whenever we talk about anything to do with the D9 chart, you can only access the gifts and the blessings of the D9 chart only via seeking the path of the devotion and surrender, and that too in the path of the God and the divinity. So that is something which is very important. Now friends, when we talk about the concept of the Vargottam planets, so definitely planets can be in any of the 6 category. Your planet could be exalted. So if you will find planet to be exalted and Vargottam, so that can be considered as a win-win situation. So that's very simple. The category of the movable sign, so which is, and the section of Vargottam is from 0 to 3 degree 20 minutes. So if you will find Sun to be placed in the Aries in these degree, so Sun is not only exalted but Sun is Vargottam as well. So you will definitely experience the best of the results of the Sun in its time period. So friends, the 6th category of the planet which is going to be Vargottam could fall in these categories. First could be planet is exalted and Vargottam. Second could be planet could be in its Mool Trikon sign and Vargottam. Third could be planet could be in its own sign, in its friend sign, in its enemy sign, or the sign of debilitation. So friends, like the only way by which you can decode is that definitely planet is, if you will find a planet to be exalted in its Mool Trikon, in its own sign, then definitely you can anticipate good results only. But when we talk about the vulnerable or sensitive placement, where planet is Vargottam and planet is debilitated or placed in its enemy sign, so the only way you can work with the energy of that planet is that now you can fairly see, or you can make peace with the energy or signification of that planet, that this is definitely your sensitive gray or area of struggle where you have to work in this lifetime. You have to do the remedies, and that too being very consistent with that. If for example a planet is debilitated and Vargottam, and that planet is your ascendant lord, that planet is your 10th house lord, or it is ruling any important areas of your life, so the gods connected with that planet, the remedies or the donations or the gemstone connected with that planet is something which you have to keep on following consistently in your life. So that is one thing friends which I wanted to make it very clear over here, because I have also read many articles where astrologers also say this thing, that if a planet is in a sign of debilitation and it is Vargottam, so that means that planet is powerful or that planet becomes good for you. So I do not completely agree on that notion. Vargottam simply means a uniformity in the way planet is going to be manifesting results. Out of these 6 categories, if it is going to be exalted, dignified, strong, so the strong results will become more potent. But if a planet is going to be debilitated, definitely there is something which you have to do. You have to put efforts. If you will not put efforts in the form of remedies or reconciling the energy of that planet, you might have to face the heat, because planet is debilitated, planet is weak, and because of being Vargottam as well, so there is no scope if you will not work in that direction. Now friends, when we talk about the concept of the Vargottam from 3 different perspectives. One is many astrologers also look at it from the Bhav Vargottam as well. So they do not include the sign. They just say that okay, if Saturn is going to be placed in your 10th house in the Lagan chart and Saturn is placed in the 10th house in the D9 chart, without including the zodiac sign, they just put the concept of the Bhav, the house, and they call it as a house Vargottam. So friends, this is not a concept which I have read in many of the classical texts, but definitely because house also provide a energy, because house provides a functioning ground. Zodiac sign just presents the style or theme in which the planet is going to manifest its results. So the results are not going to be as equivalent to the Rashi Vargottam concept, but definitely because planet is going to be exerting its energy in the same specific area of your life, so some sort of similarity can be experienced. If you will find in someone's life his ascendant in itself to be Vargottam, that can be seen as a very good placement. Now the third thing is that, friends, many astrologers also consider the Vargotham placement in other divisional chart as well, which to an extent makes sense, because when we talk about the divisional chart, friends, try to understand this thing, that whenever you open any specific divisional chart, now you have become a specialist, eye specialist, heart specialist. So you are only looking at that specific area of the life. So let's take up my example, my case. So in my chart, Saturn is my 10th house lord, Saturn is my 11th house lord, Saturn is placed in its own like nakshatra of Anuradha, and I have Saturn in Scorpio. Same in the D9 chart, even in the D10 chart as well. So I can fairly say this thing, that my profession, my professional undertakings will definitely involve Saturnian fields, because even if I have to include the Gemini Karakas as well, so Saturn is my Amatya Karaka, the significator of the profession as well. So definitely, friends, if you will find a planet which you are specifically looking, try to understand this thing, that when you open up any specific divisional chart, you should have a specific objective in mind. You cannot just go haywire and get confused and start looking at everywhere. Obviously, you have to be very expert, but if you are just a beginner of astrology and there is a specific query you have, then only you take your analysis to that divisional chart, and there is a specific house where you have to look. So for D10 chart, it has to be the first house and the 10th house of D10 chart. If your query has something to do with your skills, which could be Drakana, D3 chart, if your query is pertaining to your marriage, which is the D9 chart, or if your query is about children, which is the Saptyamsa chart, D7 chart, so you know that which specific house you have to look. And let's say, for example, if the planet which is ruling that house in your main ascendant chart, so I will simplify this thing. So if in your query is pertaining to profession, so in your main ascendant chart, you have to look at the 10th house. 10th house lord, definitely the department will go to a specific planet. Now if you want pertaining and similar more details, elaborative details, then you will go to the D10 chart. Now in the D10 chart, if you will find that planet to be Vargotham in that specific area, then you can fairly see the resonance coming in your life, that your profession, your professional endeavors should be aligned to the energy of that planet only. Same ways, if it has anything to do with the concept of the marriage, so for example, if your 7th house lord is the planet Venus, Venus represents beauty, elegance, diplomacy, and the moment you are going to open your D9 chart, you will find this planet to be a Vargotham. So in that specific area of life, you are finding that double resonance coming in. If it's about children, in your main ascendant chart, your 5th house lord is the planet Jupiter, and it is well dignified, well placed, and the moment you are going to open the D7 chart, you will find the same planet to be Vargotham over there. Now friends, I am using the term Vargotham, but in our classical text language, that is only restricted to D9 chart only, but you can look at it in other divisional chart as well, but there has to be a specific objective when you are looking at it. So the example which I was explaining it to you, so if your 5th house lord is the planet Jupiter, and you will find in the D7 chart Jupiter to be a Vargotham in the same sign, then that is definitely going to give you an added edge regarding the qualities which you can find in your children or your undertaking or your experiences with your progeny. So that is something, friends, which I wanted to say over here. Now we will take our discussion to the next section, and we will individually take up the signs, and we will try to understand that if you will find planets to be Vargotham over here, what kind of results they are going to be manifesting. So now friends, when we talk about from Aries perspective, so definitely Aries is a movable sign. So if you will find any planet to be in the initial first degrees 0 to 3 degree 20 minutes, so that planet is going to become Vargotham. You will find that planet to be placed in the D9 chart as well. So definitely, friends, if in the Aries sign, if planet is going to get Vargotham, so for certain planets, like for a sun, this is going to be very dignified placement. Like even when we talk about from perspective of Jupiter, or this could be moon, so there is definitely going to be very go-getter, very charismatic, very piercing approach, the way or via which the planet is going to be manifesting its energies. Now friends, vulnerability is definitely going to come only for the Saturn, because Saturn is going to get debilitated and it is going to become Vargotham as well. So now the case over here is that if you will find your Saturn to be in this alignment, and you are a kind of person who is not paying attention towards, monitoring your actions, your intentions, approach and attitude of humanitarianism, sharing it with people, helping people, doing remedies, then definitely the moment Saturn's Dasha is going to come, or your Sadasati is going to come, you will face the heat. So now planet is debilitated, planet is Vargotham. If you are not putting any efforts in the form of making peace with the energy of that planet, you will face the severe heat in its time period. Moving ahead friends, now for example for the Taurus. So definitely friends, Taurus is a fixed sign. So from 13 degree 20 minutes to 16 degree 40 minutes is the area in the Taurus where the planet becomes Vargotham, and this is also the Pushkara Navamsa Pada as well. So definitely friends, this is going to be a section where certain planets, now when we talk about from Moon's perspective, Moon is going to get exalted, Moon is going to get Vargotham as well. Like when we talk about from Rahu's perspective, you talk about Venus's perspective, or you talk about Mercury or even Saturn's perspective. So definitely friends, the essence of the Taurus quality is about fixity in your values, in your taste, in the elegance, in your relationship management, financial management. So whichever planet is going to be placed in the Vargotham section of the Taurus sign, that planet is definitely going to be manifesting very strong foundation and grounded qualities. So you will definitely find if your Moon is placed over here, there is going to be a very practical approach, the way your mind, your emotions, your feelings are going to manifest. Your feelings and your mind will not go haywire. Same is the case with the Venus being placed over here, Vargotham. You will definitely find a very cutting edge approach, notion of conviction, commitment in the relationship. So that is how the planets are going to manifest their beautiful results. Now friends, moving ahead for the Gemini. So the last section of the Gemini, which is for the dual sign, 26 degree 40 minutes to 30 degrees. So now friends, this is going to be a case where if you will find like a planet like Mercury, you will find Venus over here, you will find Saturn's placement over here. So definitely planets will manifest very like intellectual and very curious side, a very fun loving side of this placement being Vargotham in this section of the Gemini. Now friends, for certain planets like Mars is going to definitely feel agitated over here, and because it is weak placed, and over and above that it is also Vargotham, so that means you need to imbibe and learn the notion and the values of discipline. You have to work in the direction of making peace with the Martian energy in your case. Otherwise in its time period you might have to struggle, because planet is placed in a very difficult placement, and over and above that it is Vargotham as well. So there is no sign or sigh of relief or hope if you are not working in that direction. Moving ahead friends, now for the Cancer. So now friends, as you can fairly see that Cancer is a movable sign, and 0 to 3 degree 20 minutes is the section where planet is going to get Vargotham in the Cancer sign. So definitely friends, there are certain planets. If you're going to find Moon being placed over here, you will find Jupiter to be exalted over here. So that is going to be certain alignments, or if you will find planets to be placed over here, they will actually manifest very nurturing, very caring and very imaginative qualities being placed in this section, and that too being Vargotham as well. So now friends, it all comes down to that which planet is going to be placed over here and becoming Vargotham. Now for example, if you're going to find Mercury over here, so for Mercury, Cancer is a enemy sign placement. Mercury is all about rationality. So whether it's about on the external or on the exterior, or whether we talk about on an interior level, the planet doesn't know how to work on rationality, how to make a balance between your emotions, your feelings and the reasoning. So then in those kind of circumstances or scenario, doing remedy becomes more important for that planet. But let's say for example, if you have Jupiter to be placed over here, where it is going to be very close to its highly exaltation degree, it is Vargotham as well, it is well placed. So definitely friends, Jupiter will manifest the best of its spiritual and very prophetic qualities being placed over here and being Vargotham. Moving ahead friends, Now let's say for example, if you're going to find the planets to be Vargotham in the Leo sign. So definitely friends, the section of the Leo is of 13 degree 20 minutes to 16 degree 40 minutes. Now when we talk about the Leo qualities, it is a fixed sign. There is a lot of fiery energy over here as well. There is a lot of regality over here as well. So definitely friends, all the solar qualities of the sun is going to get very potent, is going to get very strong being placed over here in this Vargotham pada. Like certain planets, like for example sun, if your sun is Vargotham placed in these degrees, whether it's your ascendant is placed over here, your sun is going to be placed over here, your 10th house lord is going to be placed in this section, so then definitely friends, the concept of and the possibilities of attainment of power, regality, being very creative, being very original, so that is how the Leo energy is going to be manifesting its results. So prospects of name, fame, recognition is going to get very strong, and native can also remain lucky in kind of getting benefited from the government or coming in contact with the prominent people of the society. Moving ahead friends, now let's say for example, if you will find your important planets to be placed in the Vargotham section of the Virgo, which is from 26 degree 40 minutes to 30 degrees. So definitely friends, a Virgo is a sign of perfection. So definitely whichever planet is going to be placed over here, planet will manifest its very meticulous side. So now when we talk about moon is going to become very practical. When we talk about Mercury, it can make you a chartered accountant, it can make you and bless you expertise in different languages, in communication. So whichever planet is going to be placed over here, being a Vargotham in the Virgo is all about craving for or striving for perfection. Now friends, there are certain planets, like for example Venus being placed over here. So now friends, it also comes down to that what role Venus is playing in your life. So for example, if your Venus is in the Virgo, it is debilitated and it is getting Vargotham as well, so it can actually take a toll in forming that kind of unconditional notion in the relationship, surrendering yourself and offering yourself unconditionally in the matters of the relationship. But trust me friends, even when we talk about the film business or the fashion business, like all those people who are on the top of the game, and on surface, when we watch movies, when we see any of the fashion collection launch and all of that, all those things looks very easy on surface, but you do not know how much hard work goes into it behind the screen. So with this kind of alignment and Venus being obviously it's debilitated and it is Vargotham, but that is falling in your 10th house, in your 11th house, or your ascendant lord being placed over here on these kind of alignments, then friends, in those kind of cases, it can actually make you critical. You can still benefit on a material plane, but when we talk about the unconditional and experiencing that love unconditionally, there you might have to suffer. So you might have a very provider partner, you might run into all those relationships where people are nice, but the notion of love might be lacking because there is too many terms of do's and don'ts and terms and conditions which are involved or which are attached to the love or to the relationship. So that is how the planets are going to be manifesting results. But definitely friends, if your Saturn is going to be Vargotham in the Virgo, your Mercury is going to be Vargotham in the Virgo, so they can actually manifest the best of the results being placed over here. Moving ahead friends, now when we talk about from the Libra perspective, so with the Libra friends, the section of Vargotham is from 0 to 3 degree 20 minutes. So definitely friends, if you will find planet like Saturn being exalted and Vargotham, Venus being placed over here and Vargotham, so definitely planets are going to manifest their best of the energy and results. The essence of the Libra is all about relationship management, it's all about diplomacy, it's all about your public dealings and finish in that. So if you will find planet to be Vargotham in the Libra, this is how planets are going to be manifesting their results. Now definitely friends, if you will find Sun to be debilitated and Sun to be for example Vargotham as well, and whether it's about your ascendant chart or on the D9 chart, Sun with this kind of alignment is falling in the houses which could entangle you in defamation or scandal, and giving rise to hidden enemies or loss on the account of hidden enemies, loss from the government. Like if this Vargotham is taking place in your chart with sun being placed over here in your 10th house, in your first house, in your 12th house, in your 8th house, then you have to do remedies. You have to take this portion very seriously. But apart from that, being Saturn placed over here, Venus placed over here, Mercury placed over here, they can manifest best of their results. Like Libra energy is a air energy which has everything to do with travel, with knowledge, with connections, with commercial business gains. So definitely native will benefit in all these areas if you're positive, or planets who find themselves at a friendly place are going to be placed over here. Moving ahead, friends, now when we talk about from Scorpio's perspective, so definitely friends, the area from 13 degree 20 minutes to 16 degree 40 minutes, like the way friends I already mentioned this thing. In my case, like I still remember, like many times I used to see this thing that astrologers will look at my chart, they will see Saturn to be placed in the Scorpio in the 8th house. They just, rather than getting deeper into it, they used to say many negative things. But trust me friends, after doing research and being engaged in this field professionally as well, so my Saturn is in Anuradha Nakshatra. This is the section of the Anuradha in the Scorpio sign. It's my Amatya Karaka. It's so Saturn only manifested the researchful, occult driven, spiritual driven side in my life. Definitely with Saturn having a strong say in your life, things definitely got delayed. There were setbacks, but Saturn always grants whatever it is promising in your life. It is the planet of justice. Why would it do injustice to anyone if you are on the right path? So that is something, friends. Scorpio is a very intense energy. It is a water sign, it is a fixed sign, and over and above that, if your planet is going to be placed in this section, so it means that planet is going to get very deep and very intense in the manifestation of its energies. Now whether it's Saturn placed over here, whether it's your Mars placed over here, whether it's your Jupiter placed over here, there is definitely going to be very deep, intuitive, psychic, researchful oriented energy which will manifest its Scorpion side being placed over here. And also friends, when we talk about the Scorpio has also to do with lot of passion, with lot of concerns of sensuality, with research, with exploration, unpredictability. So that is how the planets are going to be manifesting its results. There is definitely going to be uniformity, but it all comes down to what planet is placed over here in this Vargotham section of the Scorpio in your chart. With Mars being placed over here, your emotions and the concerns of passion and desires is definitely going to be very intense. If for example your Mercury is placed over here, it can make you researchful, but definitely the possibilities and tendencies of taking shortcut or deception might also go high if Rahu is going to be expecting it as well. So it all comes down to which planet is placed over here. If your moon is placed over here, it is placed in the Scorpio, it is debilitated, it is a Vargotham. But if it is going to be placed in a positive auspicious houses like 9th house, like 5th house, like 10th house, it can actually give you success in the fields of art, creativity, spirituality, devotion, but definitely emotions, feelings, prospects of hoarding up resentment is going to get high at the same time. So you have to work, or you have to learn to work with this energy. Moving ahead, friends, now let's say for example if you're going to find your Sagittarius Vargotham section to be activated via planets being placed over here. So definitely friends, Sagittarius energy is a very blessed, it's a very hopeful, it's a very optimistic energy. And definitely if you're going to have positive planet over here, with your moon being placed over here, your Jupiter, your Mars, your sun being placed over here, they will definitely manifest very go-getter, very positive, very writers, very optimistic side of the Sagittarian energy. Definitely for Rahu, this could be a difficult placement, but apart from that, majority of the planets, like whether we talk about even Saturn, Mercury, Venus, like a lot many planets are going to be in this position of working in a very hopeful, optimistic fashion with being placed over here. And friends, the beauty of the Sagittarius Vargotham section is that it is a Pushkara Navamsa section as well. So majority of the planets are going to be manifesting good results. And over and above that, if you actually want to make peace with the energy of this planet, anything to do with devotion, with spirituality, writers, religious approach in life can actually help you or give strength to your planets who are being placed over here. Now let's say for example your ascendant is placed in these degrees, ascendant lord is placed in these degrees, your 10th house lord is going to be placed in these degrees. And at the time of this planet which is placed over here, if it is going to get activated in its dasha, so doing any remedies, any religious endeavors connected to that planet or the god connected with that planet can actually manifest very good results in your life. Moving ahead, friends, now if you are going to find your Capricorn to be activated, in your case that your important planets are placed in the Capricorn Vargottam section, which is, friends, definitely of 0 to 3 degree 20 minutes. So definitely, friends, there is going to be a lot of like rigidity, practicality, go-getterness, you know, very much being aware of your duties and responsibilities. So if you are going to find Saturn to be placed over here, you will find your Mars to be placed over here. So definitely, friends, it is a very go-getter section of the Capricorn energy, where the fixity of the purpose of dutifulness is going to get more potent, it's going to get more stronger if, like the way I explained, planets like Sun, planets like Mars and Saturn is going to be placed over here. Even if Rahu, Venus, Mercury are going to be placed over here, the only thing which is going to take a toll is the energy of the Jupiter, because Jupiter is all about, you know, being righteous. And as you know, friends, that when you are out on the market, whether you have to fulfill your duties, like we have seen all those like cases, like even in Eastern Europe and Russia and the Ukraine, all the concerns which are taking place, there have been all those people like who were before, they were doctors, they were teachers, they were musicians. Now they all have taken up the weapons and they are fighting to defend the honor of their country. So now this is in complete contradiction with the Jupiterian quality. A Jupiterian driven person might not, in extreme circumstances as well, not undertake that path, but which is not realistic, which is not practical. Any person's ultimate dharma is fulfilling his duty, and the first duty is of your nation. So that is how you can see the way things go, you know, in contradiction. So Jupiter, which comes in this religious turmoil or moral dilemma, if being placed in the energy of the Capricorn, and Jupiter goes debilitated because of that same reason only. So if you will find Jupiter to be placed in this section of the Vargottam section of the Capricorn, you have to follow certain remedies if you want to get the best result out of it in its time period. But apart from that, friends, all other planets, like majority of the planets, are going to manifest their good results only. You will definitely find that planet will function with a very go-getter, very focused approach towards the progress and prospects of growth. Moving ahead, friends, now if you will find Aquarius Vargottam section to be prominently active in your life, with your important planets being placed over here. So definitely, friends, 13 degree 20 minutes to 16 degree 40 minutes is the section of the Vargottam in the Aquarius sign. So definitely, friends, planets are going to be manifesting their very intellectually savvy side if being placed over here. There couldn't be any better placement than if your like planets like Mercury being placed over here, your planets like Saturn is placed over here, Venus is placed over here. They will definitely manifest the best of their intellectual side. Because, friends, when we talk about Aquarian energy, there is a lot of concept of humanitarianism, being of service, doing good for the society, working for the collective good of the society. So this is how the planetary vibration and energy will manifest over here. The beauty of the Aquarius sign is that no planet actually or literally consider this sign as its enemy. So Aquarian is the only energy which has got a very dissoluting, very encompassing energy. So that is how planets will manifest if they are going to be placed over here. Very intellectual side of the planets will manifest if they are going to be placed over here. And last, friends, if you want to talk about from Pisces Vargottam perspective, so definitely, friends, the Vargottam section within the Pisces is from 26 degree 40 minutes to 30 degree. So now, friends, this is the section where certain planets can bring and manifest very amazing results. Trust me, if your Venus is going to be Vargottam in this section, you will find such a loving, such a devoted partner that you cannot even imagine. Now, when we talk about from Jupiter's perspective, so the person will manifest the best of the devotion, surrender, and religious austerities, the person is going to manifest all these qualities. But there are certain alignments, like for example for Mercury will completely lose out its essence. The essence of Mercury is about realistic, being practical, being in control and command of your reasons and your thought process. So Mercury will completely lose out its essence. So friends, there are certain alignments, like even from Saturn's perspective, this is a little bit sensitive placement, because Saturn is all about discipline, being very practical, being very goal oriented. And even if any struggle or delays are happening in your life, you should have that mindset that the energy of Saturn is working in your favor only. Saturn is making you patient, it is teaching you lessons for the good of your success and growth only. But if you will find Saturn to be placed being Vargotham in the Pisces, a planet like Mercury which I just explained, then native might not be able to look at the bigger, broader aspect of the life or of the struggle, or how realistic you have to be in other important areas of your life. So then in those kind of cases, you have to do the remedies connected to the planet which are going to be placed over here. But friends, like the way I mentioned this thing, that with your moon being placed over here, Venus being placed over here, your like Jupiter being placed over here, it can manifest very transcendental and very wisdom driven side if being placed over here, or if Pisces Vargotham is active in your life. So that is something, friends, which I wanted to say as my take, as my inputs on this concept of Vargotham. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyavad.